Well, it is a balmy 17 degrees here in central Ohio, and we are going to do something today that we have been putting off for too long, and it's the water tank insulation. We have panels that we're going to surround this water tank with that we just put in a couple months ago, or last month, and it needs protected from all this cold. We should have done it when it was like 50 degrees, but we didn't because that's how we roll. All right, so let's get her done. To say that cutting these was difficult would be kind of a half-truth. In fact, so it's made with aluminum on both sides there. That's not incredibly thick, but it does have that central foam area. And the blade is not big enough to cut through the whole thing. So with every single cut we had to make into these walls, we had to cut it on the other side as well. So I think with about 25 to 30 cuts ended up being about 50 to 60 cuts. And you have to go really slow or the cut can get away from you. And another thing that we were running into was the aluminum bits would want to come up and kind of shoot you in the face. So when you're doing something like this, use the proper tools. We probably did not have the correct tool for the job, but we made do with what we had. And here's us flipping it over, and we had to be very careful because you didn't want to bend it and ruin the cut. But regarding cutting this material, you just want to make sure you use eye protection as well. One of those aluminum bits could make your day really bad or really quick. You might notice the little bends here on the end. This panel was originally made for a large dehydrator cooker, essentially. So in that application, the walls would kind of butt together and they would screw in a kind of way. But this is why that I got this piece was it was, there's some defects in it, and we're not going to use it in that application anyway. We're just using the panels to insulate a water tank. There's Dad protecting himself from the aluminum that's being shot into his face. I'm noticing that the old halogen bulbs in the shop are making my camera do some funky things, so apologies. Alright, there's a reason we've been putting this off, because this is a pain in the butt. So essentially, this is the material we're working with. It is aluminum on both sides and then 4 inches of foam in the middle. It has an R value of, I think, 30, they said. And essentially what we're doing is we're going to butt these two ends up. Get it backwards. Yep. And they just attach that way. Screw. There it is. Yep. Okie doke. So we cut 2 side walls, equal in measurements, and then we kind of dry fitted them on the side of the water tank. If you notice on the panels there, right there, we did have to butt some panels together to get the right measurement, but with the way these are made, with the factory edges, there's another one. It turned out great. It was really easy to actually do. So here we are, and this is just a fraction of how much we were measuring, double checking, squaring up, trying to get everything as even as possible, because once this thing is done, it is in there and really can't be adjusted due to the thickness of the walls. So we measured, double checked, measured, triple checked, and now we're back in the shop. And there you go. See again the kind of defect edge there, which allowed me to have these. So cool. Anyway, So here we are again measuring and cutting to length the front and back walls. Now the back wall will be solid, but the front wall will have a door in which we can open up and access the water panel so it won't freeze when it gets really cold. And how many cuts did we do? Oh my gosh, and protecting ourselves. And all this foam. Oh my gosh, this foam. It was everywhere. It was all over the shop. It was all over our clothes. I shot this. That's about a week and a half since I shot this, now that I'm editing it. And I'm still finding styrofoam bits all over my room and the house. It is a mess. But it's worth it because these panels rock. Despite the pain in the butt cutting them, they were, in retrospect, pretty easy to work with. They're very rigid, they're very solidly made, and they are made for an industrial application, so it's more than enough for our farm. Here's me explaining to Dad what I want the door to look like, or maybe I'm explaining what a door is, I'm not sure. But I think I'm just kind of figuring out where I want it and how big I want it to accommodate the bucket, because the bucket's got to be able to slide in there to reach the water. All right, maybe Dad's more of a visual learner, so I'll draw it out for him. This is what a door is, Dad. No, I think we're determining the size and figuring out maybe what kind of hinge that we want to put on this thing. We originally had more like gate-like hinges. There's Dad trying to reach that thing. Originally we had more like gate-like hinges, but I think we settled on a piano hinge because it just worked better for what we wanted. We wanted the door to be able to evenly swing out, because even though this stuff is rigid, it's not very. It doesn't have a lot of, integrity as far as when it's in smaller pieces that aren't attached to anything, if that makes any sense. So I think I'm just finishing up the squaring up on my drawing there before I cut it. And yeah, that snow is everywhere. Gosh, it's all over my hat. It's in my face. I'm breathing it in. Ugh. Great profile, though. All right, so I'm probably just double and triple checking and double thinking and triple thinking my measurements. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's not that I don't have confidence in my abilities. It's just that I think this was the only piece that we were able to make this cut. So if I didn't make this cut, we were going to have to make an entirely new panel and like piecemeal it together and then make the cut again on the door. So I'm just making sure I do it right and maybe doubting my abilities. Oof, all that crap. All right. I think I'm okay. I think I'm feeling good. Maybe. All right, there's Dad with the piano hinge. We actually had a couple at the shop, so that's surprising for us. And we didn't want it to cover the entire length of the door, because with stuff that we're going to put to cover the foam on the inside and the outside, we wanted to be able to have just a little bit of wiggle room in order to put this door in. So again, making the cuts on both sides. There's me protecting my face from those just bits of of aluminum just spitting up. You know, we could have used a roto zip. We could have used an angle grinder, but you know there was just too much sparks. And with this having foam in the middle, I didn't want to run the risk of melting it or anything like that. There is me filing down the sides once we got the door cut out, and we just wanted to make sure that it had kind of rounded edges so it didn't catch on itself when we would open and close it. This aluminum is really soft, so filing it down and bending it down to get a nice curve was not a big deal. But we took our time just to make sure that it was done right and done straight. And we dry fitted it several times. Kept on filing. But again, we just took our time, and eventually, boom! I like it. I like it a lot. And I will eventually put an aluminum tape over the edges of this door, so bugs and birds won't try to pick at the foam. And there's us putting on the hinge. We just centered it up. And the nice thing about this aluminum is it's thick enough where we can get some self-tappers, and then it'll hold this door pretty substantially. But it's also thin enough that it took no time at all to drill it. Look at that. It's almost like we know what we're doing. Boop. And then the hinge. Yep, just I think this is just an old drawer handle we just had laying around in the shop, and just a couple quick self-tappers, and this thing was good to go. Nice. All right, so this project is mostly done. Now I know why we put it off for so long. This thing was yeah, we got it done, and it is it's gonna do its job, I think. Let's check it out. So there it is. So we made a little door here for access to the water, and that closes up. It kind of wants to bow out. I don't know. I think this piano hinge we put on there is just a little, I don't know, multi-type. But yeah, we'll put a latch on there to close her up. But yeah, this stuff is going to keep the water nice and warm, and we're going to drop a heater in the top as well. But yeah, this thing took way longer than it should have. But I think it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Still a little crooked, but we'll fix that. Or at least I will, probably. Yeah. Nice job.